And we're live. Happy Sunday night, everyone. I know it's Mother's Day, so I want to say, first of all, happy Mother's Day to all the moms. And also, there are some dads who had to be moms. So it covers you guys too. So I want to say happy Mother's Day. And so, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm super, super excited. I know you saw the title of this show and it says Mothers or Moms in the Motherland. And so I have a special guest tonight. Y'all know sometimes I have to go solo on here, right? So tonight I don't. This particular special Mother's Day edition, I got a chance to invite someone on. I'm going to let her introduce herself, but I'm going to tell you just how I met her. You know, I always do that. So, I have a good friend I call Twin, my producer, my right and left arm a lot of times, Miss Angee Coman Scott. And I'm going to tell on her. I'm going to throw her under the bus right now. She's been stalking this woman for some years now, not the harmful stalking, the kind that has, I guess you are in awe or you're inspired by them. So this lady has been a silent mentor for Angee's for a while. So Angee had her on the show and she was so excited. Can I tell this part, Angee? Of course I can. She was so excited and so nervous. I was like, well, let me go on with you. I need to meet this lady. So had her on and it was absolutely phenomenal how much she and I had in common, and just a beautiful spirit and just a wonderful woman. So I'm not going to keep going on and on. I'm going to let her pop on, and I'm going to let CB Miss Coriya Burns introduce herself to you and tell you a little bit about who she is. And then I'm going to jump right in and we're going to have a good time tonight. So without further ado, hey, lady. I can't hear you. You guys bring her volume up. I can't hear.
There we are. I think.
Yes.
There we are. There we are. Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to you as well.
Thank you. I am so happy to be here listening to you talk about Angee. I was back here just giggling. That is too funny because we really did go back and forth a couple times before we connected. But when we came together, it was chef's kiss.
But that's timing. You know what I'm saying? It's timing. The spirit knows. So yeah, okay. I'm not going to interrupt you. I've got to let you get it out just a little bit about you that maybe people who've never met you before may know, who is this lady?
Oh boy. Okay. Well, by day, I work in radio. I've been in radio for the last 30 years. I've done just about everything that can be done at a radio station, pretty much. But right now, I serve as the general sales manager for Radio 1 Atlanta. We have 4 stations in Atlanta. Hot 107.9, Magic 107.5, 97.5, Praise 102.5, and Classics 102.9. So under our umbrella, we have everybody from Steve Harvey to Ricky Smiley and Erica Campbell. I'm blessed to work with all of them and head up the sales departments for those 4 stations in Atlanta. But after 5, so I call it my 5 to 9 pat. I got my 9 to 5, but after 5, my 5 to 9, my purpose and my passion is the first one is really about helping women move the needle on their goals, which I know that's another way that you and I connected, right? So you can find me online as the GoalDigger Coach. That's GOAL, not GOLD. As the GoalDigger Coach. And then my passion as well is getting people back to the motherland, getting people to the motherland, getting people to Africa. And I went to Ghana for the first time in August of 2021. And to date, I think I've been about 15 times, Pat. About 15
I'm like so excited. I'm like, ooh, that's yes. So you do know I'm over here right now. My leg is shaking because of just like I can't because you said some key things. You and I both had that in common. I used to be
Yes.
called the dream coach because if they had a dream, I was coaching them through it, right? And so
Okay. I
we found
love it.
you. There's things we did. I did real estate management for 30 years, property management, 30 years. In the background, I'm doing premarital counseling, marriage counseling, all of that stuff in the background, right? I still love that. Just like you still love radio and all that, you still love
Yes.
that. And our passion, our purpose. But you, I don't know, I guess you would say stumbled. Would you say you stumbled into uh,
Listen.
uh the traveling to Ghana thing? Did you
Definitely.
say that?
Stumble is almost I ran into a wall and couldn't, and it was no way you're gonna stop here and you're gonna do this or you're not, right? But yeah, I have been traveling, been very blessed to visit before I went to Ghana. I think I've been to about 15 different countries,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd never been to the continent. And I
Right.
served on a panel for Beyond the Return. And for those who don't know about the year of return, which was in 2019, it was an opportunity for Ghana to bring everybody back. It was, I don't want to call it a celebration, the 400-year, I guess, commemoration of the last slave landing in the United States. So they brought
Wow.
everybody back. It was called the Year of Return. Little did they know about 1 million of us would show up. So
Mm.
it was so successful that they decided to continue that campaign. And now we're in the midst of a 10-year marketing campaign called Beyond the Return. And
Wow.
as part of that, they're just asking diasporans to share their knowledge. That's all they
Mhm.
wanted. They just wanted our knowledge. People think
Love
that,
that.
yeah, everybody in Africa is begging for something, right? They just wanted
Okay.
our knowledge. And I
Yeah.
landed on this panel, and the young lady that was moderating after the panel was over said, "So have you ever been to Africa?" Pat, I was so embarrassed. I was so embarrassed because here I am, oh, I've been to Paris, I've been to Barcelona,
Yes.
I've been to here,
Yes.
and she straight up was like, "So have you ever been to Africa?" And I had to tell her, "No, baby." I
No.
mean, just mud all over my face.
Mhm.
Um, and I went, and I've been back again and again and again and again. It
Great.
just, it is addictive. I tell you, every time I do a group trip, I think I'm on my fourth or fifth group trip now, but every time I do a group trip, somebody is moving there. Somebody is starting a business there. Somebody is trying to figure out, hey, Darlene, sorry.
No, we
Somebody,
see we're like, hey.
right. We're going to get to that, right? Somebody is
Yes.
trying to figure out how to tie themselves to the
Mhm.
continent because it's just, it's something welcoming. It's something that just attaches to you and you just cannot let go. You absolutely cannot let go.
So I'm gonna guide some questions because
Okay.
we are I guess mirrored or something. You guys like, comment, and share this. It's gonna be so important. So as a half Native American and half African American, I've never been to Africa. Mud on my face, right? Been to Asia, been to Europe, all
Yep.
these countries,
Same.
never been to Africa, right?
Yeah.
So, um, and I think it's because there's such bad press. You know,
Yes.
I said something to you that was embarrassing. I'm gonna get to that. But when I saw this and I met you, and I'm like, Ghana, because I just, left Belize, left Colombia, looking for, I want a home out of the US. I want a home, whether it's a
Yeah.
second home, whatever. I want to experience other cultures and travel and all of that. I never thought about Ghana. It's really, really weird. So I just want to do the correlation. When I moved back to Oklahoma, I was here as a child, but I never explored culture of the things that my people went through as well. The Native American side. So I started exploring my Chickasaw roots, and I went to an exhibit. And you're right, you feel the connection, and you feel like, wow, the sacrifices my ancestors paid for me to be
Hmm.
okay and here. So I have a feeling that I'm going to experience that on the other side, because I'm going in September. I couldn't even hardly hold it, right? I'm going in September, right?
I knew it was
And
gonna come out in the first few minutes. I was like, I just let it happen naturally.
I am so excited. And this is the funny part. This is how I think. It's like, I like for people to experience what I
Yes,
experience, right? And I think that's part of just being a servant. Hey, Dixie Cup, happy Mother's Day to you. I think that's part of us being a servant, like even wanting people to excel, to start thinking about what they want to do, because you and I understand, when you have a passion and a purpose, whether you stumble into it
yes,
or fall into it, or you're ready, because I think internally you're ready, right?
right,
When you come upon it, and something inside you says, I want other people to experience this. I want
absolutely,
people to feel this freedom of jumping into your passion and your purpose. It's powerful, right?
right.
So, what did you experience on your first, if you can explain it,
Oh,
on your
wow.
first trip to Ghana? Because you know I got a whole bunch of questions.
Absolutely. So it's so strange because on that first trip, I call it a journey. On that first journey, I'm gonna be honest, it was close to overwhelming. And I was going live and I was trying to explain, and it's unexplainable. My son will tell you that. He just went for the first time in December and he said, "Mom, now I get it. I get it. You kept telling me that it's hard
Yes.
to explain. You can try to explain it." And even after I went on, that second journey, that third journey, that fourth journey, that fifth journey, because I just kept going back because I couldn't get enough. I mean, I felt like I was still gathering information. And every
Right.
time I would go live, and my uncle is funny, and he may jump on tonight. Every time I would go, he's like, "Don't you go back? Don't you go back without me? Don't you go back to
See,
Africa? Don't you go back to the
see,
continent without me?" And I went live one time, and he said, "Didn't I tell you?" He said, "The next time I'm going." And so the same young lady who had moderated that first panel that I was on, owned a business, a tour company. I said, "Can you put something together for maybe like 4 or 5 people, maybe? This is Ghana,
sure,
right?
right?
Cancun. We're not going to Cancun." And she did. And, I won't get deep into it. I know we'll talk about it a little bit later, but that trip, I thought maybe 3, 4 people or so would go with me, maybe 5. 17 people followed me to Ghana.
Wow.
17. First one, very first journey.
Wow.
Yeah. We got the YouTube video with over 433,000 views to prove it.
Wow.
17. Can
So
you
let me tell you
believe?
what's going to be cool. This will be my first trip. And I don't want to tell anybody's business, but I'm taking some people who are very close to me on that trip. And we're going to experience it together. So, Angee already told on herself, but I cannot wait to go. Right. I'm not telling everybody else's business. If y'all going and you want people to know, just click in here and be like, I can't wait to go either. I can't wait. So when you go, like when your uncle went, and you know how you experience something.
Yeah.
Hey sis, when you experience something and they say, I see, I
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
So is it the information? Because I hate to say I'm totally ignorant. I'm totally ignorant. Like one question I ask you, and I want to ask it here because I want you to
Okay.
answer it. Why the motherland? Why do they call it the motherland? Because
Oh,
a
that's
lot of people don't know where we came from. A lot of
sure.
us are even afraid to say we're African. They just we're American. I'm not African. It's like to me it's sad not to know where you came from. And I think that
Right.
was intentional in the beginning to keep
Absolutely.
to like there's a term that was used on the Native American side. They said it was so important for them to kill the Indian and retain the man. So what
Wow.
they were doing is taking away all of their culture, all of the
Yes.
things they knew, their language and everything, and assimilating them into America.
Yes.
So, and I know the similar thing happened on the African side. And when I tell you the job is so complete, sometimes I'm
Yes.
embarrassed of my family. They really want to identify, not all my family. I'm embarrassed of people who really want to identify with somebody other than their own culture and don't want to say I'm African. So when you
Right.
go and you understand, I think about, great,
Mm.
great, great, great grandmother or grandfather that came through the horrid and the things that they came through from free,
Oh, yeah.
great society, great family environment. Imagine yourself right now being snatched out of wherever you are and having to go and work for free and be beaten and all kinds of other stuff until you don't want to even remember where you came from. To me, it's a sad place. So, is that part of the I want to know more about me because it's us that we're learning about and where we
So,
came from?
yeah. The first question you asked was it the information? So I want to
Yes.
make sure I answer that first. Going into it, I thought it was really about the information. I thought it was about, me wanting to know what W.E.B. Du Bois's tie was to Ghana. I thought it was the information. I thought it was the things that maybe don't exist in the textbook, which is incredible. That was always something that was really, really focused on in my household growing up. It was something that I always focused on with my son growing up. I debunked everything that I knew to debunk for him, as he
Yeah.
was growing up. But
Good for
it's
you.
the information I think is secondary. I really do think it's the feeling you get, and I hear it over and over and over again when people
It's
get
a
there.
spiritual
When
thing.
you step off the plane, there is a feeling that just overtakes you. It is
Like a
so
reunion.
hard to
It's like a
explain.
reunion and meeting people you've never met before, but knowing
Yeah,
somehow attached.
yeah,
Todd said, truly realizing who you are and connecting with land from where you came is one of the most powerful things a human can experience.
yes,
Very well said.
absolutely.
Very well.
Absolutely. It is the welcoming spirit that you get. I've seen people drop down and literally kiss the ground. I'm not exaggerating, but it is the feeling that you get. And then yes, the information. But when you see everybody looking like you, and for the most part, everybody welcoming you,
Mhm.
um, and letting you know or telling you welcome home, Aquaba, welcome. It is just it cannot be duplicated. It cannot be explained until you get there. It absolutely cannot.
I got chills. I cannot wait. So
Yeah. And I
I
know the second
cannot
thing
wait.
you go ahead.
No, no, no. Go ahead. I want you to keep going. Keep going. I
Oh,
can't.
no,
I
no, no,
asked
no. I want to make sure I answered your question. I'm a note taker.
you.
You asked about the motherland part.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn this too. And I want everybody watching tonight to understand that, the Africa is really not just referred to as the motherland, it's the mother and father continent. And I learned this, and I'm going to explain why. It is the oldest inhabited continent on Earth. Let it be known. No other continent can take that away from Africa, right? So it's known as the mother and father continent. It is the birthplace of humanity. Hands down. You can take a lot of other things or try to snatch a lot of other things from Africa, but you cannot take the fact that it is the birthplace of humanity. And for those on the line, who, are Bible readers from Joseph and Jesus to Moses and Mary to, I guess,
They came
Solomon and Sheba, it all leads us back to Africa, period. It all leads back to Africa. Yeah. So
from.
it's the mother and the father continent.
So that's where the term came from
That
because
is
we
where the
say
term
it.
came from. Birthplace of humanity.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I
Yeah.
say it, did not know what I was saying. So why
Absolutely.
would you not want to go back to where it all began and at
Absolutely.
least understand? It's not even about well, it is about where you came from. It's about where everybody came from, no matter what shade they're in now, where they came from. So why would you not want to experience that? I don't
Yeah.
understand. So anyway, I want to go. I've I've been wanting to go, but I didn't think about doing that first. I wonder why. Is it because of the length of the trip, maybe? Or is it
Oh
because
boy.
all the commercialized Cancun, Cabo places I've been, um, you know, France, um, Spain.
Oh, I've got a lot of opinion on this. Don't y'all get mad at me. Um,
Girl, no, this is straight talk from the heart. It's
yeah.
your conversation, what how you feel. I'm asking you, what do you think? Why do you think that?
Well, there's a few reasons. The first one is they sensationalize any and everything that does not look, sound like us, but they
Okay.
copy us.
Okay.
Period. They copy our
So
music, they copy our look, they want to copy the color of our skin. They want to copy so many things about us, yet all of these other places are sensationalized. I mean, just think about it. Paris is known, it's romantic. These other places, Spain, it's cultural. In London, there's this bigger than life type thing when it comes to the royal family. And nothing wrong with the islands either. But even with that, they sensationalize the beauty of all of these places. And then they make Africa to look dirty and poor
and
and a place
and
that you don't
yeah,
want to
like
go.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
right,
they do.
right,
They
right.
do. They make it
So
look, they
toxic is
make it look,
negative. Yeah,
yes,
negative
negative. There you go.
images from the media, negative media images.
Yep.
So I was talking to a gentleman who is 65 years old, and he said to me, "Why would you want to go to Africa? They just got running water a
Oh
couple
no.
of years ago,
No,
and
they did.
there's
Oh
people
no.
just walking around there starving and sick. So you're gonna get. I'm just scared for you." And my mouth was open like, "Where did you get that from?" I saw it on the television. I was like, "Okay, first of all, that's the problem. I need you to get information other places than television. I really
Yeah.
do. I need you. This is why I want you to read and go somewhere." Sammy
Yeah.
says, "Hello, lady. That's the feeling I want. Always said I want to visit and kiss the ground in honor of returning to the motherland." Well, you got to make it happen, Sammy. Got to
Yeah.
make it happen. Got to make it happen.
I've seen it happen, Sammy. And the last person I saw that did it is actually moving. I think I was sharing this with you before.
Yes,
Out of
yes.
all the group trips that I do, I've never had a group to go and at least one person not talk about moving
Living
and or starting a business or having
that
some
that
some
that
some type of ties. But I want
yeah.
to make sure that I am very honest. This is real talk with you. I talked about them sensationalizing these other places, but I want to be very clear that they try to make it out of reach for us too. You can go to European countries sometimes $5, 6, 7, $800.
Yep,
And it's very rare that you will find a ticket going to Africa for less than $1,000. It's
yep.
ridiculous.
I know.
Not
Trust
only that, right? And you can't even move around in Africa. When I was in South Africa in March, I was going to go from South Africa to Ghana for a few days. I couldn't get there. It was ridiculous. So they don't even want Africans talking to each other. I don't think that's my personal opinion, let alone do they want us going over there and seeing how Africa is way too rich to be stressed. Africa just has to, in a lot of ways, understand how rich it is,
me.
too rich to be blessed.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Birdie. I cannot wait to go because I'll be on live and I'll be talking, and I tend to say exactly what I want to say.
As you should. Yeah.
I tend to say exactly what I want to say and be honest about it. I mean,
Yeah.
straight talk. So I'm on this journey anyway to eat healthier, to avoid it's so many friends that I know, and their family is touched in some kind of way by cancer or something like that. So I did some research, and a lot of the things that I look for here to buy and to eat that I know is healing naturally for the body, how
Mm.
that is grown there. And like to try to find some fruits or like soursop or passion fruit or things like that. It's like plentiful. And
You
I'm
walk
going,
out the
oh
door,
my
and
gosh.
I'm telling you, you walk out the door. There's a video on, I'll have to go and look for it on my travel page, which I know my social media was up, Go Travel Chick. And I was in Ghana once. I think I was there for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Random. I said, let me show y'all what's in my refrigerator in Ghana, right? Probably one of the biggest videos that I had. I said, I just want you to see what was in my refrigerator. And I opened it up, and there wasn't a lot in my refrigerator. And then I turned the camera to my countertop. And when I tell you, well, they call them local bananas. They're about this small. They're super, super sweet. Local bananas, coconut, just so you can have fresh
Favorite.
coconut water. I think I had mango, I had limes, I had watermelon, I had a cabbage. I've done the same thing going grocery shop because I try not to go to the grocery store when I'm there. You shop with the ladies on the street. You can walk out your door and get a coconut for $1 or $2. And you're going to drink all the coconut water, and then he'll crack it open and give you the meat if you want to eat the coconut meat. You walk a little bit further down, you get a mango, and you can just eat the mango walking down the street. You get you some local bananas and ground nuts, which is like a snack that a lot of people eat. And it's just like
Living off the land, living off of the fruit of the land, literally.
unreal, unreal,
It's a biblical term, living off of the fruit of the land, literally, literally.
absolutely, absolutely.
So, what did Michael say? It's good. Oh, he's saying good evening. Good evening, brother Sledge. So if you guys have questions, please, by all means, that's what we're here for. Ask the questions because I can go on and on and on. So, what is it like if you were to choose it? Because when I'm going, I'm like, okay, can I find a home? Can I find an opportunity for business? All of
Yes.
that there. If you decide to do that, how difficult is that to handle? Like,
If you tried to do it on your own, I'm going to be honest, I have learned that it would be very difficult. It would be very difficult. I am a part of an organization called GUBA Diaspora Network. GUBA stands for Grow, Unite, Build Africa. And I was very blessed to get involved with this organization early on. They have helped me to do everything from my visas before I got my 5-year visa. They would
mhm.
help me with my visa on all of my visits. They've helped me explore business opportunities. They've been able to show a lot of my guests that have gone properties. You name it, and they're always hosting things online, and they host our welcome dinner. So you'll get a chance to
Get a chance to meet
come in
them.
contact with them. But I love it because when they do, you may be sitting there with the ambassador from the United States for Ghana. Then on the other side may be a teacher who went to Ghana and never left and said, I'm not going back home. I'm gonna start a business here. Or you may, be there with someone else who is part Ghanaian, part, something, and say, you know what, I've decided to move my family back here. Just the diversity of the people. I talked
Yes.
with a young man today who is starting a company. I've actually signed an NDA, so I can't say exactly what it is, but
Right,
I will
right.
tell you
I get
this:
it.
it is a multi-million-dollar opportunity. And they don't have Kickstarter like us. You know what I mean? They get out there and
I
they're
love it.
hustling for everything. And I'm listening to him, um, and I'm just like, do you understand what you have? Like, do you understand, the way that this is going to shift things in Ghana? And he said, I believe it's going to shift things in all of Africa. And he's so right. So I'm excited, to be associated with, like I said, the Guba Diaspora Network. But to do it on your own, I don't think I would have ever got figured out how to get a checking account. I'm gonna be honest. It was like filling out 17 mortgage applications by yourself. It was just crazy. I was like, this is made one phone call. I got my
Got it.
Ghana card, which is my ID.
Mhm.
No way I would have gotten that done without them. An hour, it was done. So I will say that navigating things on your own can be difficult, but when you connect with the right people, um, that is when you can definitely get things done.
That's cool. And then Sammy asked a question that's very interesting.
Okay.
He said, "What do you think dating in Africa would be like?"
Um,
It's like, look, maybe I need to go
I can tell you
experience
what
that.
dating in
For
Africa is like.
business. I need to
It's
start a
not that much
dating.
different than it is
dating.
in the United States. I will be honest. There are cultural differences that you have to become accustomed to.
Yes.
And I'm gonna give some real live examples, right? So I'll never forget. I went out with this guy, and I would say maybe our second or third date, we went out, and I said, well, I don't mind paying for dinner this time. I think it was maybe the second or third time. And he didn't get upset, but he was very stern when he said, I'll let you know if I need your help. And I said, oh, excuse me. I didn't know. He said, yeah, you don't ask an African man that. Like, I got this. And I wouldn't offer to take you out. I wouldn't ask you out to dinner if I wasn't
That's smart.
able to
Everyone,
take,
yes.
to take care of, to take care
Yeah.
of the meal. They are a very, very proud people. Very, very proud, people. So it's different in the cultural differences, but men are men and women are women. I'll just put it that way. So,
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, ask away. If you have any other questions or want to know anything in particular, definitely let me know.
Right. And Todd is saying it's not just Ghana that has created right of return opportunities for African Americans. Tanzania.
Many countries are
Uganda.
following suit.
Yes.
Many countries are following suit.
Good.
There are some nuances, about the land and the things in Ghana. It's not like you show up, you go to an office and they give you land. It
Right.
does not work that way. I want to be
And
very,
some
very
people
clear
think it
there.
is. So I'm glad you said
Yeah,
that.
it's
Some people
not.
think it is. Oh, come on, and I'm gonna give you. No, I mean,
No.
you don't get people don't give you land here. I mean,
Right.
you still are required to pay for it. But we can get into all the other stuff where we don't have to, or if you're really serious
Mhm.
about it, people can tell you how to buy land there, what you have to do, and all
Yep,
of
and
that.
reach out to me. I've gone through a lot of this, like I said, with GDN and Guba Diaspora Network. They give it to you straight. They tell you exactly what is required. They tell you who is eligible. Let me be very clear when I say that.
Because not
Who
everybody
is
just go over there and
eligible?
buy up
Okay,
stuff.
right. So
Yes.
they give you the facts, even if it's not everything you want to hear. If
Right.
that makes
Right.
sense.
That's good. That's good. I love it. I love it. Hey Zena's watching too. So let me say this because I have a lot of questions too. I have a lot of questions like people will I'm not gonna say ignorant. People will say things like, well, what do they eat?
Oh goodness.
Can
And
you
you
go out?
talking to a picky eater, primarily vegetarian eater.
Mhm.
So there you go. And my
So
son is a picky eater, and I've had people bring their kids. So just imagine. Yeah.
what is an average breakfast like?
Okay.
Or is there
So
a such thing as breakfast? Or what we traditionally know is when you rise in the morning, what do
gotcha.
you usually eat?
So at the hotel, I'm kind of going down the line. The last
Yes.
hotel we stayed in, you can get an omelet. You can
Mhm.
have a boiled egg. Sometimes they do. I think they mostly call it porridge, but it's oatmeal. It's not probably the consistency that we would be used to. I'll put it that way. And then a lot of times they will have rice. They will have beans. Sometimes they will have a stewed type dish, all for breakfast. And then and then they'll probably have fruit, coffee, and fresh juice. That is
Okay.
typically what you might see
Yeah.
at a hotel. I may be missing maybe a thing or two. I know they'll eat like the little sausages and stuff sometimes they look like hot dogs to me. I don't eat
Mm.
meat for the most part, but they'll have something like that. So Culturally, a little bit different. Again, I still go back to that, but some of the same: an omelet,
Yeah.
toast, a muffin,
Right.
those things. So yeah.
So what about the nightlife? Because people want to know,
Ooh,
where do
mm.
you go out? Do you
I
dance?
know
You know,
places. I know places.
so we're like,
I know places.
go out and do they hang out and dance like traditional parties here? Or, our
Absolutely.
people love to dance. I mean, you from the
Yes.
time you're a kid, you could my little great nephew, we had my nephew son had a brunch, a Mother's Day brunch in Texas this morning, and the baby heard music, and he's just like little shoulders just
I love it.
it's in them like early. So
Absolutely.
dance. So what is that like?
Absolutely. So
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, on one of the journeys I went on, took some guests on. The youngest person was 25, and I think the eldest was like 76, right? And most of us, the very first night they were there, they arrived on a Sunday. I was like, hey, I got my little spot in Ghana. It is not fancy. It is not like this nightclub. It is about, here they probably call it a hole in the wall,
A
but
house type
it's
situation.
outside, it's dirt. You sit outside, right? I said, but I promise you, you will not regret going. The DJ is crazy, right? So we go, and I think they were playing Rhythm of the Night. And they might go from Burna Boy to Rhythm of the Night to Michael Jackson back to who knows, right? I mean, they just are. He's just such a good DJ. He can read the crowd. And I will never forget Pat, my uncle that I was talking about, retired
Yeah.
military chaplain uncle, was
Yeah.
out dancing with one of the other young ladies on the trip, and it started to rain. We were all just kind of dancing, and it started to drizzle. It wasn't a pouring down rain, but it started to drizzle. Nobody moved. Nobody left. Everybody kept dancing. And so
That's how you know it's a great party. Nobody going
that's
nowhere.
how you know. And you just had people just of all ages. I wouldn't say, there weren't teenagers there, but there
Yeah.
were people in their 20s, and there were people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s that were there. And we had a ball. We closed it down, shut it down. But the nightlife in Ghana, I work in radio. I could probably go anywhere I wanted to in Atlanta, but I don't. But when I'm in Ghana, it's just like, you just want to be out. You want to be outside. You don't want to be locked in your room. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can walk up and down the main road, even at night. um Ghana is safe. People have seen me go live in Ghana, and I'm walking to the grocery store at night, and I bless my mother's heart. Oh my goodness, you can't don't be out by yourself. Well, who
Yeah.
gonna get me? A baboon, an orangutan? What happened to me? You know
An
what I mean? Like, I
iguana or something
grocery
or a
store
monkey.
by myself. And don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
cautious,
Yeah. Yeah.
cautious.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
not walking to the grocery store by myself over here in my nice neighborhood in Georgia. But I will
Mhm.
do that in Ghana. Ghana is one of the safest countries in Africa. It is
You
very
for
safe.
saying that too, because that is another thing. Up,
Yes.
you're American, you're gonna be robbed.
Yep.
You could be this, you could be that. It's all scare tactics. And I'm telling people, stop believing everything you hear.
Right.
Experience some things or talk to some people went and
Right.
not hearsay. That's
Right.
so
Right.
important. And the only way I could break it down to people for people to understand who are listening to us, it's like going somewhere and people are afraid of you as a African American man or a black man or a
Absolutely.
black woman, and they're thinking, oh, y'all are all pimps and prostitutes, y'all all
Right.
shoot each other, because
We
that's
all
the
shoot each
they
other.
get
Yes.
about USA, that you have gangbangers. Everybody who is a black man is a gangbanger, and we know
Right.
that is not true. You have doctors,
Absolutely.
lawyers, professional people. So the same way in any country, there is not one small incident that you can take and spread it around. I was going to go to visit a friend who retired in Mexico, and I told somebody I wanted to go, and they were like, well, you better not go now, because right now they're mad at the US and they're kidnapping people and they're doing this. And I'm like, anyway, I'm not
It's like
going to.
saying all Black people are this or all Black
Yeah.
people are that. And that's
Love
just
you,
not
William.
the case.
Yeah, that's William. You talk to William on the phone. He's like, love y'all. So, but yes, so please know, you guys, you cannot guarantee anyone's safety anywhere. Anything can happen. But for the most part, you can go and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Like, yes, I would be scared of animals. I'm just saying, not all animals, but some animals might scare me.
The animals, except for the goats, the animals are not running around like that. Now, I will say I see a lot of goats, little bitty goats, and it's sometimes chickens. And the crazy thing is, they're not worried about us because they know where they're going. They know how to get home. They know exactly where they're going. They know where they belong. They know who their humans are. But you just don't see a whole lot of stuff like that. It took me probably a year and a half before I ever saw a monkey in Ghana.
Yeah.
Easily a year and a half. And I would go to Cape Coast and they say, oh, maybe we'll see the monkeys on the road today. I wouldn't. And then one time on a trip, and I'm like, a monkey, finally, a year and a half into going to, Ghana. And I finally see, and people are like, oh, the monkeys, are they running around? Are they doing this? Are people living in huts? Ma'am, I have seen some of the most beautiful homes and met some of the wealthiest people of my life in Africa.
Wow.
Cannot touch, some of the things in the States. Oh, I see Sammy has a question.
Yes. Did you see that? He said, how is it searching for work or career opportunities? Is it possible to find work to support yourself and your wife or your family? Or that's a good question. Or do you need to bring your work? Like if you have a talent or a gift to bring that and start a business. So is it better to start a business, or is there opportunities for maybe U.S. citizens to go there and work?
I think either or. There's a young lady that I know who she started out working for Teach for America in Nigeria. She decided to move to Ghana. The infrastructure is just a little bit different. I'm not going to down any African country, but it was different. So she decided to move to Ghana, didn't get a job right away. And literally, she said, I was walking down the street one day and I saw an empty building. And she said, I looked around and I realized there wasn't a barbershop in the area. She rented the building. She cleaned it out, got some friends to help her gut it out, and she turned it into a barbershop. The girl is in her 20s. Well, she may be early 30s now, but she was probably late, 20s when I first met her. She owns a barbershop in Ghana. She said, I don't know anything about cosmetology. She said, I just looked around and realized that there wasn't a barbershop in the area. Another young man that I met named Lartman started fish farming because there was nobody we weren't doing it. Let me put it that way. We weren't doing it. He started fish farming and he ended up finding it therapeutic and then started telling other people about it. Now he owns Lartman Farms and he is a flat out millionaire. You can go and you can look at it on my partner's page on the Odana Network. And you can see we just did a story on him. And the last time I went to Ghana, I said, you know what? I'm going to this farm. Right, because I wasn't on a group trip. I said, I'm going to this farm and I'm going to go and I'm going to spend the day there. So he offered the opportunity for people to come spend the day at Lartman Farms, learn about fish farming, how much it costs. And when I learned that you can literally buy a 10 by 10 tub and you can start fish farming for $400. He said, now I'm going to advise you to get 2 or 3 of them just in case something happens. You may have an outbreak in one, of the pods or whatever, and you'd still have the other. And I said, but wait, stop. I said, so you're basically telling me that I can start my own fish farming business for like $800 to $1,200? Tell me that is not what you're saying.
That is crazy. Crazy good.
Absolutely. He said, and for the first 3 months, I'm going to coach you. And when you when you set the business up, I'm going to give you enough food and the fish for the first 3 months. I'm thinking to myself, like, you've got to be kidding. And he was like, no, you can absolutely flat out start a fish farming business for $800 to $1,200. So it just depends. And then I know some people who work remotely. I will tell you, be careful with that when it comes to the Internal Revenue Service. Just make sure you have all your ducks in a row, earning money in the States and
Especially now,
working and living somewhere
especially now.
else. Right. And
Yes,
you need to do that anywhere,
you
whether it's
do. But,
Africa or anywhere else.
especially now, because you're getting wind of, okay, if you're collecting a retirement, you can only be out
Right.
a certain amount of time before you have to come back if you're going to keep getting Social Security from the U.S. So there's things that you do have to know, but I'm sure the organization you spoke of has come across those rules and can kind of help
Yes.
navigate you through those things, which I'm a firm believer in that. I don't have to be an expert in everything. I just have to find the people who are and work
There you
with
go.
them. So
Absolutely.
if they know how to do it, I'm not going to go beat myself up
Yeah.
learning how to do it. I'm going to lean on the experts. So
Right. Yeah.
let me see what else. Who else is asking a question? This is so informative, so mind blowing and you guys can go to Go Travel Chick
Yes.
and look at some of these videos she's talking about. Look at some of the things that she's exposed to. So
Or go with us in
yeah,
September, November. Yeah,
yeah,
check out welcome to the motherland.com. All the journeys are there. I don't want to forget about that part either. I would love to have you join me on a journey. So I don't want to
yeah.
forget about that part either. I can take
Please. I think that's the one I clicked on. Welcome to the Motherland.
yeah.
Sammy said, very interesting. How much is an average rent or home purchase? Sammy is looking today.
Sammy,
He's looking
great
for a job.
question.
And he want
Great
to know about rent and home.
Yeah.
Good question, Sammy. Thank you,
Yeah.
my brother. Go ahead.
Because when I showed up, I thought, rent might be $50 a month, $100 a month, Sammy, somewhere. But let me tell you that there are homes in Ghana that are just as expensive or even more expensive than they are in the States, especially the closer that you stay to the city, especially closer that you stay to Accra. There are homes for $650,000 to $1 million in that area. The further you go out, the less expensive things can be. A lot of my friends, they don't live in the city. And I'm going to tell you my personal opinion, and real estate agents who are from the United States living in Ghana, you can get upset with me if you want. I'm going to say it. I think that we are showing up and we are pushing the price point up and we are pushing the native people further out. And I think that is very sad. There are people who build subdivisions in Ghana now or around Ghana specifically for diasporans. And I've been approached to move in some of these diasporan villages or places where, first and foremost, if I wanted to be with y'all, I stay in Georgia. I'm not trying to come to Ghana and be with y'all. Not that we can't go hang out.
Where they live and how they experience things.
And that's really where I want to live. I want to live amongst, Ghanaians. If I'm going to be there, I don't necessarily want all my neighbors to be,
I want to speak
American.
Language. I want to know the culture. I want to know the foods. I want to be totally like, even if I bought a home there, I would want my furniture from there. I'd want my
absolutely. There you go.
Made there. I understand a lot of things are handcrafted that you can't get now. I want the whole experience. I want to definitely buy some clothes there. I want to experience it like I would, honestly, if I spent 3 years in Japan. I did the same thing there. I want to do this the same way. I want to know the food. I want to know the culture. I want to own some things that are made from there. Speaking of that, how hard is it to get items from there back to the US?
You can have them shipped pretty easily. Like there's a young lady that I buy a lot of clothes from every week. And I promise you, she's like my Amazon. I'm always getting stuff. And whenever I go, people who've been with me before have me to bring things back. So you can actually, DHL does a lot of the shipping. So you can do that, or you can just have me bring it back because I'm there every 2 or 3 months, which is what a lot of them do. I want to make sure I finish Sammy's question though about rent. I
Yes.
have a friend that rents a house. It is hold on, 1, 2, 3, 3-bedroom, 3-bath home. And on the complex, they're only, well, and it's almost like a townhouse kind of situation. It's split. There's a 3-bedroom on top, 3-bedroom on the bottom. You can do the whole thing or by itself, but they have the whole level on the bottom to themselves. They pay $6,000 for the whole year, Sammy, the entire year. So, and that is how a lot of things work in Ghana. It's not mortgages, it's not car notes. And I said, but Africa's so broke. Like how are y'all paying for these houses flat out? How are you buying these cars flat out, right? And when you buy a home, for the most part, it's the same way, Sammy. You'll pay, sometimes they'll ask you for somewhere between 15 and 30% down, depending upon how far they are, in building the home. And then you would pay another 10% and another 20%. And then you would pay the balance of the house before they turn over the keys. So when you get your home, you own your home. It is yours. Now, they don't do lifetime ownership in Ghana for the most part, and that was a little different. And I had to get used to that mentality a little bit, but I think they do like 99-year ownership on a lot of things. So you're right. We need to learn that here in America. Wouldn't it be something if we didn't have mortgages? Wouldn't it be something if we didn't have mortgages?
The money that would be freed up. And then you don't have to worry about a credit score there, right? You got the money for
the most part. Now they're trying to introduce a credit score type thing. I don't like that either, and that's only because a lot of people are coming now, US companies, and they're building and they're trying to institute, some form of a mortgage situation. So now they're talking about a credit score. I don't like it at all. I don't think that Africa should have to continue to make other people conform to Africa. The absolute other way around. So, yeah.
So good questions. Oh my gosh. So literally that's like $500 a month.
Yes.
And then you pay it for the whole year up front, right?
You pay it for the year. Some people will ask you to pay for 2 years if it's in demand. But for the most part, everything is going to be paid for the year. You're not paying month to month over there. But then again, you can find some apartments in the city and they legitimately want $1,500 to $2,000 a month. It's just crazy, and that's normally somebody from the US that owns it. But for the most part, you're going to be paying your rent, or whatever it is, for the entire year. Yeah.
Good question.
We learn how to work together as families. Absolutely, Mary. Mary, that is an excellent comment. So I remember talking to another young man from Africa, and he says, "Why do you put your kids out at 17 or 18?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I always hear people, in the States talk about, when their kids get 17 or 18, they got to go, they got to get out of the house. And you guys are sending them out, telling them you ain't got to go, you got to get up out of here or whatever." And I said, "I guess, so that they can get, prepared for life." He said, "But they're not prepared at 17 or 18. He said, "In most cases, they're not prepared at 20 or 21. He said, "But I see Americans shoving their kids out of the house before they're truly ready. And then you wonder why a lot of them fail." And I said, "Well,
what do they wait until they're ready? They wait until they have a certain amount of money saved and all of that?
Certain amount of money." He said, "We stay at home, we save our money." He said, "When I get ready to leave home, I know that I will have enough money to purchase a house. I will have enough money to purchase a car. I will have enough money to take care of my family. I will be well prepared, not just financially, but now instead of watching my mother and my father as a kid and being raised by them, now I get to watch my parents in a different light, because now I'm contributing to the household. So I get to still be under their tutelage about how to care for my household, how to care for my family." He said, "But now I'm looking at them in a different light." And I said, Wow. We don't teach legacy wealth. We absolutely don't, Mary. You are so right. And he asked me that, and I honestly never. He said, your kid comes back from university. Your main goal should be getting them ready for the next level. But instead, what are you dependent upon for them to get to that next level? And I said, I had no word, y'all. I had no words. I really didn't.
Because
I
it's a totally new
had
concept for us.
You said what now?
It's a totally new concept for us.
It
And
is
Mary
a totally
said,
new
we
concept.
send our children out to be renters, not owners.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something? Yeah.
And
He
I
said,
know this is
he said,
crazy, but can you believe we're almost gone an hour? We have like 5 minutes left, or
I
less than
can't.
5 minutes left. Can you believe that? Because it's like we have these conversations and we're just talking about stuff that matters to us and that would matter to other people that we want to help. And so we're posting constantly how you can reach out to her. We'll continue to do that in this thread. But you guys ask questions. There you go. Add just Coriya and add Go Travel Check. They're all on social media, so you can go there and DM her. Nice DMs, because you know that gets a negative connotation too. They're trying to DM you.
And I'm gonna say it again. We would love for you all to join us on one of these journeys so that you can experience Ghana for yourself.
Yeah,
you
I'm
really
so
should.
excited. You don't have any idea how excited I am. I'm like telling people, and they're like, "Well, when are you going?" Look, I'm not leading the thing. I'm just going. So
tell them, come on, go to the website. You can come whenever you want. I'm going in May, September, November.
Yes. So I know it won't be my last time either. And I'm going personally going. I already told Angee, I'm going to look for business opportunities. Like, how can I come here and contribute? Same thing I'm doing in Oklahoma. It's like I get so much from my tribe. I'm trying to figure out ways to give back. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, I don't even want to let her go, but she's my sister. I have connections to her anyway. And reach out to her. She's been wonderful with helping people figure out how to go, because it's her passion, it's her purpose. And that's what we do when we find that. It's not what we have to do, it's what we get to do.
It's what we get. Oh, that's good. I'm going to use that. It's what I get to do. Absolutely.
I get to do, y'all. This is not work. This is passion. It's a whole different thing. So with that being said, do you want to close us out with anything? I know you said come go. Because it's that time. We don't want to let you go. You know how you say
it is that time. I will just say this, if you have been thinking about going anywhere else, add Ghana to the list. It is the gateway to Africa. At this point, I've been to 21 countries, and nothing compares. I was a one destination person before I went to Ghana.
I remember that.
And I didn't want to go back. I was like, check it off the list. Ghana is absolutely the gateway to Africa. If you're going to go anywhere, go to Ghana first. And then you can explore these other places. I am an open book. Whether you go with me or not, I would love for you to do that. But if you have any questions, please reach out to me. All of our 2025 journeys are on welcometothe.motherland.com. And just let me know what you need. I will do that. I know Pat knows that about me. Angee knows that about me. Whatever curiosities you have, there's no crazy question. Ask me. At this point, 15 visits, I've probably encountered it, and I can probably help you and answer it.
So thank you again for coming. This has been wonderful. Mother's Day special, mothers in the motherland, and fathers too. And now that I know it's not just motherland, it's fatherland.
That's right. It's mother and father continent. Absolutely.
So look, it might be Mother's Day and we're saying mothers in the motherland, but fathers absolutely even more so come. So with that being said, you guys, I'm saying goodbye to her for now. I know she'll come back because that's who she is. And it might be this subject. It might be another. We have so much overlap. But what I want to say is, as always, we wish you love and light, peace and blessings. Come home. Come visit. Come visit us.
Oh, come on, Sammy. Welcome to the motherland.com, Sammy. And yes, Miss Mary, you do need a passport. But
Yes.
give me a call. I'll make sure you get everything you need.
Love it. So we love you, sister, and we'll see you again. We know. I'm talking about right here, but we're going with you when you go.
Absolutely.
So with that being said, I love you, and you all, thank you for showing up. Share this with other people. This is so informative. It's so important. So like it, share it. Go to Pat Nash on YouTube and go ahead and click subscribe. Yeah, I do know it doesn't cost you anything to subscribe to people on YouTube, right? So whatever she has on YouTube, whatever I have on YouTube, you help us by doing that. Go and subscribe. So with that being said, I love you all, and I'll see you next Sunday.
And let's have a moment of clarity. There's freedom in your transparency. When you speak, you release. That's therapy. It's my decision to listen and do it carefully. Wanna live carefree? Well, it's gonna start. When secrets are kept, families are torn apart. I wanna do my part to help heal your heart. Shed some light on your life when your days are dark. Help ignite a spark that'll bring change. Be your shelter from the rain. Assist with
Yo, here we go. Intro for my show. Nice though, hot like nitro. Cool as ice though. With that type of dichotomy, y'all know it's gotta be. Who else could it be but T? Rub your eyes, behold the Tony D. I'm the Dream Supreme DJ straight out of Queens. I'm eclectic, the dopest selected. Emerging music break, Tony D will take, yeah.
Well, Tony, I don't care, long as you take me there, someplace to ease my mind.
This is recording artist Bertrand McKinney, aka Birdie, and you're listening to CHH Jams, where the bars come from the word. Y'all keep it locked.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. This is Orlando Presents right here on CHH Jam Presents. Make sure y'all tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and check out our new show, CHH Jam Presents, right here on the real Level Up. Let's go, y'all. Let's level up, level up. Let's get it. CHH Jam Presents.
Hello, everyone. This is Pat Nash of Pat Nash Talks, where we have the conversations that create real relationships. I'm here every single Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Time, 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can find us right here on Level Up Nation. See you then.